navigation errors. I just started filming this. I've already started. I left one location. I'm heading to this next Supercharger. And it was coming down this access road, this service road. And for some reason, it turned into the hotel parking lot and turned around and came back out and continued on. I don't know why. Why choose to just go through the hotel parking lot like that? It's just kind of weird when it does strange navigation things like that. There's nothing on there, no plan for a stop, no reason, no emergency vehicles around. It just wanted to go to the main entrance of that hotel as if I had it as a curbside, but that wasn't anywhere in the part of the navigation or the plan for the trip. So yeah, we see these weird. It's safe. It's still very safe. It's doing everything that it, as safely as possible. Well, better than that. It's just annoying that it decides it wants to go on its own little, its own little adventure, let's say. Don't know why. But, when we have a goal that we want to get somewhere, it doesn't help that the car occasionally decides it wants to go, take a peek somewhere that's not on our route. I don't get it. We got a little bit of rain here. Well, yeah, I just wanted to start that filming on that and mention it's. I'm doing actually a hitch ride from Houston to Austin. Got 2 pickups and then drop them off and return. It's like 150 miles there. I charged up to 100, so I got 300 miles of range, but it is kind of chilly today. It's 45 degrees, so we have the issue that all EVs have is, you lose some range when you're using the heat and everything. So that just, that's something that we have to deal with. Hopefully, the return trip, they don't mind me stopping for a couple of minutes to charge. Because I don't think there's going to be much time in between the two to allow for that. And that's the one drawback about some of these hitch rides. They don't allow the time needed to charge between rides. And that can be kind of cumbersome. I just wanted to record that. Charger here. I just wanted to see if it will get into the supercharger properly. I've never been here before. I'm trying to figure out where the superchargers are. I don't think I've ever been here before. Oh, there they are. And let's see, 14.2.1 seems to do a very good job of hitting the superchargers. I haven't had any issues yet. Stall 3B is out, so it needs to pick anyone but 3B. A lot of pull-throughs here. Great for people with trailers. And looks like hardly anybody's ever using this one. I kind of like this location. It's a nice dark parking lot. It's really close. And hopefully this is not 3B. Let me check to see if it is or not. Well, close. It's 4B. I'm just topping up here. I have to be at my pickup at 6:40. So I'm using this time to just going to aim to be there at 6:35. So I want to add as much range as I can here. Instead of sitting there idly waiting for them, I figure I'll use that time to add some range. And I just realized I have my lights off. I need to turn the footwell lights back on and the ambient lights back on. I wish there was a quicker way of turning those off and on, especially at nighttime when I'm thrown into camping mode or what have you, to camp out. Slept in the car last night. And I don't know. I like this supercharger location. We are currently charging, and we're at a rate of 17 cents a kilowatt, which is pretty good in these late hours. I want to add that to my favorites. So I kind of like this location. And they have plenty of superchargers here. And when I'm thinking I can get some shut-eye when I'm here. These are, the 325 kilowatt superchargers, but since I'm already over 80% battery, it's only going to do 45 kilowatts. If I can find a destination charger, it'll almost be the same. But I figure if I could buy me 10 miles, get 10 more extra miles at it, it will make my... So I dropped off and have 20% battery. It's going to be 43 degrees in Austin. Wow. and it's raining, so the weather's not the greatest. So yeah, I'm going to add 2 more miles here. Let's check the cameras here. Oh, that front's really covered in rain. So is the back. Someone was saying Rain-X is great, but I really don't know for sure. Hitch does a great job between cities, and in this case here I'm picking up 2 people at 2 different locations. It's like a bus service. Each person's just paying for a seat in the car. You can either book the entire car or individual seats, and the return trip will have up to 3 people coming back. If I had a bigger vehicle, it'd be more. So let me see here. We're gonna go ahead and end this here in a couple of seconds here, so I won't be late. Well, maybe add 15 miles. Get up to 280 miles. There we go. Or 282. Yeah, that's close enough. Yeah, this is a nice supercharger place. They got plenty of superchargers if you have a trailer. Makes ideal. Now that was a whopping 62 cents to charge. Yeah, supercharging maybe our FSD may be degraded due to weather. But it's really not raining that hard, car. In this Model Y of the heat pump, I'm trying to figure out what the most efficient temperature range is. In my Model 3, if I keep it around 68 degrees in the wintertime, I get the best range out of that. Yeah, we're going on day 6 of the 14.2. Today is December 1st. We're here in Houston, going to pick up the first of 2 passengers that are going to the Austin for a hitch ride. So this is the active one here. Send him a message, let him know. Send him text messages. Hello, this is Keith, the Hitch driver. I'm on my way. I should be there by 6:40. See you then. I believe I've never been a passenger for Hitch. They should see what vehicle is on the way. And we want to make sure we're getting the fastest route there. It's not giving me any other options for routes. And like I say, we're going on day 6. Let me pull this up here, Autopilot. And FSD has been very solid. We got an emergency vehicle coming up on our left here. So the car is slowing down for it, but it's also trying to get over at the same time. Everybody else is stopping for the emergency vehicles. Put it in standard mode. And as I was saying, we're going on day 6 here. Total miles I've driven on the 14.2 build, which finally gave us the self-driving stats, so I don't have to pull up my Tesla insurance information. But I've done 2,201.3 miles, and 2,194.0 miles of that is all on full self-driving. So just about 5 miles that I've actually driven, which I have to, because a lot of times the people don't have their exact pickup or drop-off location queued properly, and I have to navigate and hunt for them. Or I can't get the car to park in the exact location I wanted to park in. We're dealing with the rain here in Houston. And the crazy drivers. I have a lot of confidence in the FSD. Driving it, if you drive as much as I do, 12,000 miles a month, you get to know the car. Each time I get a new version of the software, yeah, I've done a lot of miles on it already, but each time the car downloads a new version of the software, about 1 or 2 days I'm kind of more cautious. I'm not sure what might have changed. Not sure if there's any regression anywhere. So you got the car's trying to get back over here, and it's looking for an opening, and it's doing a nice job here in this traffic. So yeah, whenever there's a new software update, I'm a little more cautious with it for a little while, and then I relax more as I go. In the past 2 years, it's been over 2 years since I had any safety critical takeovers, and that one was even questionable. I may not have had to take over. The only times I'm ever disengaging is just, a comfort thing or navigation issues. When I started recording earlier, pulling into that hotel's parking lot for some bizarre reason. I don't know why. It went into the entrance, did a circle around the door, and then went right back out and continued on its trip. It's not like it needed to turn around or anything. So I don't know. You get those weird little things that happen. And I wish if I was filming last night. I was trying to figure out where I wanted to park for the night to get some sleep. So I just had FSD running. I wasn't, telling it to go anywhere. I wasn't making plans to go anywhere. And it's kind of zipping through this, shopping center, and then, gets on the road and goes around through a neighborhood, and then goes a couple blocks over, then it pulls into an Exxon gas station and pulls into a parking spot and parks itself. I didn't tell the car where to go. It just went there on its own. Kind of wild, kind of fun, I mean, if you have FSD and if you don't have anything to do, get in it, engage it, and see where it takes you. Just go for a ride, see where the car wants to go. I've done that once before and wound up in a town called Port Mansfield. So it's not like it would just keep driving straight nonstop. Got a lot of traffic stopping here. I kind of, when I'm used to driving in the valley near Brownsville, Starbase, Texas, it's relaxed. We don't get this type of crazy traffic. If I was driving like my Chevy Tahoe that I used to drive all the time, but I sold that back in 2001 after it sat there for a year and a half. When I bought my first Tesla in April of 2020, I was telling myself I'm just going to drive this car in the evenings and the weekends and continue to use the Tahoe for everything else. And it was about a year and a half later, I realized I've never started that Tahoe again. It just sat there. And when I went to start it, the battery was dead. I went, jump started it, and it started up fine and everything, but it was just sitting in my driveway for a year and a half. So I sold it. It was a good Tahoe. It was a 2008 Tahoe that I bought for $2,000. And I used it as a work vehicle. There wasn't a scratch on it. The people that had it really took care of it. And I drove everywhere. When I bought it, it had like 160,000 miles on it. When I sold it, it had over 340,000 miles on it. Because I drove to Nashville, to Austin, everywhere, doing network installs and everything. And after it sat there for a year and a half, it was still in great condition. The leather's in perfect shape, not a crack anywhere in the leather or anything inside. No scratches, no dents or anything on that Tahoe. I sold it for $5,000. I only paid $2,000 for that car, and I put hundreds of thousands of miles on it, and I sold it for more than what I paid for it. It's a Chevy Tahoe. Those are solid. In a way, I kind of miss the Tahoe. I miss the space in the Tahoe. My girlfriend says it's a little more comfortable than the Model 3 or Model Y. I mean, it was a very comfortable ride. The seats were comfortable. She could sleep in it really nice while I'm driving. So that was a lucky buy that I got. I mean, when I bought it for $2,000, I could have turned right around and sold it for $10,000, $15,000 easily. But I did have before that I had a Nissan Versa that was having a transmission issue, and I had a friend who was supposed to replace the transmission, and I paid him in advance, and I paid for the transmission, and I loaned him money. He wound up drinking so much and destroyed his liver and everything, and now he's not able to work, so he can't pay me back. So I'm just out that $40,000 total to him, and it kind of hurts. I call him every now and then, but every time I speak to him, I'm just really mad. Never did fix the car. I don't even think he knows where the car is anymore. It's been, I don't know, 15 years? So, never got a dime back from him. It's just a bitter note. Got to stop being nice and helping people sometimes. A like and subscribe would be nice on the video. You know, I don't make much money on these at all. Maybe 75 cents here and there. If I'm lucky, usually maybe 10, 15 cents a day. And YouTube only pays out once you get over $100. This year, luckily, since one of the rocket launches from SpaceX, I got paid twice this year, 130, 140 for an entire year. You know, it comes nowhere near helping pay for all the camera equipment and everything else, the computers and everything I use for that. But I mean, look how smooth this is. The car is handling everything. This guy, obviously, he's forgetting to turn his blinker off, and the car, realizes he's not changing lanes. He's just sitting there with his blinker on nonstop. Earlier versions of the FSD would be constantly a little kind of braking, trying to let them over. So 14.2 has been doing a great job realizing that no, they're not getting over. I mean, the weather's not great, but it's handling it. It's not sentient. It could be, but it has a sense of humor or its own little quirks as far as where he wants to park or what have you. And I will stick by my stance. I really want to have a display of the parking lot when we get there, showing me where it plans to park, giving me the option to choose a different parking space. You add that will get rid of any of the parking problems we have. Any of them. If it's going to park across, no, my house is over here. That would make life a lot easier there. Plus, give us some speed control. If I go down to sloth mode, if I keep scrolling down, let it decrease the maximum speed. If I want to go a lot faster, let me get up to Mad Max and let me scroll up and increase the speed there under Mad Max. Those two things, this would be perfect. This water is kind of deep. It's like that there. I want to slow down in the deeper water. I'm more nervous on the deeper water from experience from my Model 3, having those panels underneath ripped off of those. Model Y is higher up, handles it better, but still, I've gone through so many panels in that Model 3. So we're coming up here. I texted this person earlier. I haven't heard back from them yet. Meeting at the Burger King here in Austin, one of two pickups. Weather is not that great. Doing this instead of, Uber and Lyft right now, because it's a fixed amount and will get me near where I was going. I was going to head to the house because I was having a network issue. I couldn't connect to my cameras and stuff, and it makes me mad because for a day and a half could not connect to my cameras. So here it is. I am driving to go home to check my cameras. I'm getting near Houston and they come back online. Everything's okay. It's like, really? Thanks a lot. Okay, coming into this parking lot here, it's doing a good job even though the water is deep. And we need to look for a person. They may have a friend dropping them off. I am not sure what. Take over manually. Okay, so it can't handle parking because of the cameras. Okay. So we're in reverse. So yeah. Because of the cameras, it could not handle it with the rain. Or maybe this is the gentleman here. That is going for rain. Yeah, see the back camera is really messed up from the rain. There's no way to really keep those clean. People say Rain-X or Never Wet is another option. I'm going to park right here in case they are inside the Burger King. And I'm going to end the video here. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button here. And we're going to end the video here. They're on their way. They're going to be in about 3 minutes. Odds are they're taking an Uber. They'll use an Uber local, then use the Hitch to go the long distance. Next pickup is at the Starbucks. Looks like we'll be there at 7:16. What's the itinerary? $7:09, so it's going to push us a little back to the second pickup, but we will let them know once we're on the way. Um, 28 deliveries down. Roadie sounds like it's kind of good. If you got a big truck or something, you can find some good deliveries on there, but some of them are just really don't sound like it's worth it. But yeah, we need more. For the deep water, we definitely need more speed control. I'm going to end the video here. This might be my passenger. Okay, I just got through finishing this Hitch ride. I dropped off all 3 people here from Houston to Austin. It is paying round trip. I have till 10:10 for them to find me 3 more people going back to Houston. So, I don't think there's any public restrooms around here. we're in the college campus area, so I'm just going to go ahead and engage this right here while we're down Austin here. See if we see any Waymos or RoboTaxis anywhere. Three college students, and they've never heard of RoboTaxi. So, you know, Tesla needs to really kind of push that, put ads out here, down here for the RoboTaxi if they really want to get people utilizing it. And what I was thinking, this Hitch specializes between cities. You know, Austin to Houston, Houston to Austin. You know, RoboTaxi can do that too. And I was thinking about that, especially if it's unmanned. When it's unsupervised, without a driver. Since these here, I meet the passengers at different locations, usually different Starbucks. They have certain points that they pick up and drop off for these Hitch rides. Sometimes it's at their house if they book the entire car themselves. But when they're sharing the ride, well, there's a Waymo right there in front of us here on the other side. When they're sharing the car, okay, let's see, we have details for the return trip. We were unable to find any passengers. Okay, so they weren't able to find any passengers. So, I'm in Austin now, so I can look for another ride here. To Arlington. Okay, I may take this other one here from Austin to Arlington. What is that one? It's $154. Austin to Arlington at 11:20 a.m. No riders. Arlington to Austin, 3 riders at 4:05. So they're still looking for riders to go up there. They don't have any booked yet. So I want to hit the Supercharger here and get paid to go one way with no passengers. That's not a bad deal. But anyway, what I was saying is, like, RoboTaxi can start doing something like Hitch. You know, to go from Houston to Austin, one charge. I still have 56 miles of range. It is cold, so I'm not doing as good on range right now because it's cold. But hey, have the meeting points at Superchargers. Give a customer a $5 discount if he plugs the car in for him. You know, the last person out the car has to plug the car in. There you go. That'll be kind of perfect. You know, unlike me, when I get here, if I have a round trip, if I did have another group going back to Houston, I will have to stop to charge on the way. If it's a RoboTaxi, just switch taxis. They can do one-way nonstop, no problem. Pick up at a Supercharger, drop off at a Supercharger. Very convenient, very easy to do. Austin to Houston, Austin to Dallas, Austin to Arlington, San Antonio, and back. And they can just sit there and they just meet there. Or you can pick them up curbside like they're doing around here. Elon, if you happen to see my video, why not look at doing that? You can work Hitch was created by the university here in Austin. I would hate to lose revenue myself. I would hate to lose money myself. A lot of these customers, like I was driving here, they've never heard of RoboTaxi for one. They've been frustrated a few times, had some nightmares, drivers not showing up for hours. And they'll have to go and book a taxi instead or change the day. But if it's a RoboTaxi at a Supercharger, they wouldn't have to do that. They wouldn't have to do that at all. They would just go to the Supercharger. There could be multiple RoboTaxis there. Hey, you can put on the screen, hey, at the Supercharger next to you, that car is done charging. Please unplug for us for a discount on your ride. Okay. And, unlike RoboTaxi, where you're going back and forth all over the town, dropping off here and there, you're handling the intercity travels. A little more convenient than a bus station because they put 3 people in the car and they work it around. Let me ask R here. Hey R, how long is the drive from Austin to Arlington?
Oh, from Austin to Arlington? That's about 200 miles, so roughly 3 hours without traffic.
Okay.
But why Arlington? You heading to Cowboys HQ or something shadier, like Area 51 level shady?
Oh, I have it in conspiracy mode. Oh, man. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to be still in conspiracy mode. So, okay, it's 11 o'clock. That ride's that round trip is $153 for the rest of the day. So far, I had that one complete. That's $151 right there. That dropped me up. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. These Hitch rides, they're long rides. They're long drives, but let's see if the car can get into the Supercharger here at this location. I don't think I've been to, I might have been to this one once. I haven't been in Austin that often. I haven't seen any RoboTaxis. There's another Waymo. I've seen a lot of Waymos. Well, I've seen 2 today. But every time I come through here and drop people off, I see a Waymo. But yeah, I mean, and then, when you get to Austin, you can have another RoboTaxi that they can switch to go wherever they want within the city. Have RoboTaxis going between the cities to Supercharger to Supercharger, and then you just switch to a different RoboTaxi for in town. Personally, I think that is a great idea. Because it's pretty much just a highway in between the cities that you're traveling, and you're driving that same route over and over. You're basically turning that RoboTaxi into a bus service, basically, sort of like the Hitch service is. Now, Hitch does actually go down to Corpus Christi. It's very rare you see rides down that way. There's not that many people down there know about it. It also goes out to Beaumont, Texas, Lake Charles, also in Florida. Hitch is available. That Model X was just kind of sitting in the intersection, so kind of messed up my turning. And this car here is going to also, it's a weird intersection, in all honesty. But yeah, driving them from Houston, heavy rain and everything from when I left for quite a while in Houston. Got out here, it's calmed down. Temperatures dropped though. 100% zero intervention. The car handled everything. I didn't touch the brake, the accelerator, didn't do any steering, nothing. The car handled it. Sometimes the windshield wipers never stopped, even when it stopped raining. The windshield wipers were still going high, and it kind of ignored that squirrel, but that squirrel did get out of the way. So the Supercharger should be around the corner here. Can it find the Supercharger? Oh, it's in a parking deck. Okay, Tesla Superchargers open, self-park. Okay. Now I'm not touching anything. Do I need to grab a ticket? I wonder if I have to pay for this or not. I didn't catch that. Okay, there's the Superchargers over there. Parking fees apply. Okay, so yeah, you have to pay for parking. Yeah, and you can see from the rain there, it's really did a number on the car. So yeah, this one here, parking fees apply. Check for validation option. So let me plug in here. But yeah, I mean, that'd be kind of a good idea to go through. Trying to figure out this ticket. This place validation sticker here. Restrooms and front desk located on the 5th floor. So it got into the parking garage. It got into the Supercharger. I need to find out what these validation options. But as the car charges, I want to go and use the bathroom and like and subscribe. Tell me what you think. That'll be great to have the Tesla's doing RoboTaxis between cities. Charge up to 100 or whatever it needs to make it between the two cities, and you're doing one stop. And just use the Supercharger locations as the meet point for the passengers, like Hitch does for Starbucks, or Hitch does with Starbucks. Anyway, a like and subscribe would be nice. Thank you. Okay, just an update. This Supercharger here, yeah, it's paid parking. It's $12 an hour. $12 $12 an hour. Wow. But if you go to the coffee shop and get something, they'll validate your parking. They're currently out of stickers to validate, so I have to have them ring and confirm when I get there. I did go ahead and take that ride, paying $155 for me to drive to Arlington and pick up a passenger and bring him back. So it is paying a round trip, but nobody to go up there. So I can leave at any point. 100 State Street. In South Lake, Texas. Okay. And so far, it looks like just one person has booked the seat. Only one seat's been booked so far. So, as it's calculating the routes, yeah, we'll go ahead and leave. We'll get there at 3:30. It's supposed to be there at 4:05. Get there at 3:30. Get that supercharger and be able to come back. What? No. Oh, we're going to get there plenty early. That's getting us 2 p.m. So 2 hours early. So yeah, plenty of time. I'm going to have a nice little drive up to Dallas from here. Yeah, so far it's just one person, but they may have more. I'll pick one. No, we don't. Cracker Barrel. Okay, it's 2. Okay, now it is 3 people. So let me go ahead and add those other stops to it while I'm sitting here charging. This one here is 101 East. Second pickup is A, B. Okay, that's the second pickup. And this is 2739. Grand Prairie. Okay. Okay, and then the first drop off is going to be $13,000. North Interstate. Let's put the name of the company there. North Austin. Okay. So it's going to the Panera as a drop off there. And then the other 2 are the Lucky Lab again. Right there. Okay, so that's the entire trip planned out. So it's going for the fastest, but I got plenty of time there. So when I get to the Abbott Supercharger, I'll just spend a little more time and maybe hit another supercharger up there to see if I can get rid of these other stops. No need to make 2 stops on the way back. If we can charge up close to 100, it should be more than enough. This Abbott, Texas is only 128 miles. I guess back here at nighttime around 8 o'clock. Yeah, so that's the entire trip. So I got 3 pickups up there in the Dallas area. This is going to be kind of fun. So I currently have 218 miles. I should be able to go. And it's looking at 40 degrees when we get up there. It's getting cold outside. 47 when we get back. So I have plenty of time. The first pickup, I'll be getting there 2 hours early. So that's decent. And, you know, if I want, I can drive around and maybe do a couple Ubers and Lyfts up there for a couple hours. But I'm just going to take it easy. I mean, this is more profitable than Uber and Lyft. Lord knows the other day, I'm sitting there driving all day long. And I only cleared $100. It's kind of pitiful. And here it is doing these Hitch rides. I'm already over $150 for the day. Well, going to be, and after this ride here, going to be over $300 for the day. So that's a decent day's pay for me on average. Yeah, that was $151, and it's ready for, you know, immediate withdrawal. I can deposit that straight to my checking account immediately. And I was going to go through and look at scanning those things, paying, but no. Yeah, this is good if you want to get a coffee or something. That way your parking is validated. But okay, we're engaged, we're plugged in. Let's see if it can get out of this parking garage. It should, no problem. It's a simple straight hit. What's going to happen when it gets to the gate? That's always kind of like a hit and miss. See if it'll come up here right to. You need to pull up a little more, 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 and stop. Okay. Now I'm gonna roll down. Where is the button to get it? Call for assistance. Okay. If the assistance ever picks up, I don't know. disengaged from self-driving. It's still holding here. Come on.
The person at extension 521 is unavailable.
So yeah, I'm supposed to push for assistance, but they're not answering the phone.
Sir,
Yes.
what seems to be the problem today?
Yeah, I was up at the coffee shop. They told me to call for assistance, and they
Oh, sure.
because they're out of stickers.
No worries.
They're not answering today.
Oh, I think they're just checking a couple people in.
Okay.
Have a wonderful day. Sorry
Thank
about
you.
that.
No problem. Okay. And I have not touched anything, and the car is proceeding on its own. So it was patiently waited. That was good. And let's head out. I don't know this area. So yeah, if I feel like I get in a croissant or something, or coffee, then yeah, I will use that Supercharger. Otherwise, yeah, $13 total. No, that's a lot for parking for 1 hour. For that hotel, you know, it just. I mean, how much did I pay to charge the car? $13. So that would have been 26. And here comes a Waymo. He's in the middle of the road. Good job. So yeah, that's what 3 Waymos that I've seen so far here in Austin. And we are heading the right way, right? Yeah. Okay, it's heading up to the interstate there. So yeah, kicking back, letting the car drive. It's funny that I asked him if we're heading the right way. I don't know. I don't know this area, but hey, I don't need to. With full self-driving, you don't need to know the area, and you can drive like you live here all your life. 0 interventions. As I said, yeah, I got the 14.2. Okay, we got this Jeep coming up here. It should, okay, it's making room for, okay. That handled the two roads nicely. Yeah, I got this on the 14.2 on the 25th. That evening at 7 p.m. So I only had a couple hours of driving when I first got it. And it was for my trip back to the hotel, my first trip on the 14.2 build. That's when we got the new stats. So we're going on day 6. Yeah, right now, 5.5 days. And I have already put 2,376 miles on the car since then, and 2,368.7 of that is all in full self-driving. So the only time I disengage is to navigate around something or what have you. And with the parking getting better and better, it's less that I have to do that. And that's where I'm saying, if they'll give us an overview where the car plans to park and give us the option of selecting something different, that would fix that problem. The other problem I had coming from Houston to Austin is that a stretch of the road was a 75 mile per hour speed limit zone, but for some reason it ignored those signs and wanted to do 55. So I had to put it in Mad Max mode, and it jumped up to 82 miles per hour. If I went back to hurry, it went down to like 60. So it's like Mad Max, yeah, got me up there, but hurry, for some reason, dropped down a whole lot more. But because it thought it was in a 55. It could have been going down to 65. I'm not sure. Once it started going below 70, I popped it back up because there was traffic behind me and everything. But for quite a long time, it kept ignoring those speed limit signs. So it never saw the 75. It's a cloudy, hazy, overdue day. There's an ambulance coming up behind me on the interstate that we're getting ready to merge onto. I know Dirty Tesla was doing some testing. He was saying that the car listens for the sounds of sirens. Well, there'd be a little orange dot up here if it was actually doing that. That just indicates the external mic is on. And I do see that every now and then in some cities. In some areas, it'll have the external mic on. So we merged into the traffic here. The car is working its way over. I'm trying to see if I can see where that ambulance is. I just see the reflections of the lights off the sides of some panel trucks back there. But it looks like he's going to be coming up here on the left as he's progressing over. Some of these cars are already seeing him and moving over. My car should start seeing them soon. I want to see if we see any lights in the cameras. It is moving over. I think it's moving over for the emergency vehicle. You don't see any icon there for the mic, so it moved over. It saw the emergency vehicle coming up. It moved over. It's slowing down, and now it's moving back. So yeah, and it's going by the lights. Like I say, it's not listening to it. It would not surprise me if it combines, once it sees the lights, if it then turns on the external mic, but I didn't see any indication of that. Because you don't know, it could be an ambulance on the cross street underneath us, and it needs to ignore that sound, so it doesn't go purely by the sound. Now, it could listen to that sound and listen for the Doppler effect and tell which direction it's coming, if it's coming towards me or away from me, because it would be a different pitch depending on the direction it's going. If they have that set up, we don't know exactly how they're doing it. Tesla hasn't really gave us a in-depth geek look at exactly how each feature works. And I'm going to try to So we got 2 hours to the first Supercharger as we're heading up there for this Hitch ride. And this is, people ask me how I drive so many miles. Normally doing Uber and Lyft, yeah, I spend 300-400 miles a day driving. Today, yeah, we've been doing a lot of driving today. If I go to the, since I still have Tesla insurance, and I got to find a good insurance that's cheap. I don't know, Liberty's good, but daily breakdown still 100% because hey, it's doing all the driving. I've done 205 miles already, so this is gonna be 300 to 400, 500, 600, 700 miles today. I drive a lot. I buy a car to drive. I don't buy a car to look pretty. We can also say I get married for a wife not to look pretty, but to do the housework. I know. Not a good joke. I'm just trying to work with that. I don't know. Maybe Ara can help with that. It's like, hey, Ara, I'm trying to think of a joke. It's kind of based off of I drive a car to drive, not to look pretty. But I want to take a spin on that and apply it to I married a wife, not to look pretty, but to do housekeeping or what have you, or do chores around the house. Can you give me a good joke in that context?
I married my wife not to admire her looks, but to outsource my laundry.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Glad you liked it.
Can you try another one, though?
Sure. Married my wife so she'd finally alphabetize my comic books. Turns out she just dusts them.
Okay, well, now it's just getting a little worse. But thank you anyway. But yeah, just trying to think of a good joke off of that. Just rating the previous passengers there. So yeah, the first pickup is at 4:05, so I have more than enough time. That's a weird phone number, 855. I get so many scam calls that I let the iPhone filter them. But it's just way too many. 855 spam risk. Okay. But anyway, I'm going to eat this croissant as the car travels here through the foggy rain and the 44, 41 degree weather. To go and pick these people up and bring them back to Austin. And then figure out what I want to do for the night here in Austin. But yeah, like, subscribe would be nice. Thank you. As I'm heading up here at the Dallas area for this Hitch ride at Austin a while back. We're coming up with the first Supercharger here in Lubbock, Texas. Let's see if it can get to this Supercharger without any interventions. I have yet to touch anything at all. I'm just sitting here 10 to 14 hours a day. I have no fingerprints on my steering wheel. I don't use it. Which kind of makes it funny. I have heated steering wheel. I can turn on the heat on the steering wheel if it's cold outside, but I don't use the steering wheel, so what good is that? Now, if I was using that, it would be nice to have a nice warm steering wheel, but I don't use it. The car has been, very lenient, allowing me to text a few times, no problem at all, as long as I'm looking towards the road, no issue. It's been handling everything smoothly. I did do a little bit of screaming and yelling, not at my car, but at the car next to me, the lady who's coming into my lane. My car slowed, backed off, gave her room. She's over there on her phone texting while doing 70 miles per hour behind a semi-truck and not paying attention that she's coming up on that semi-truck fast and she's merging into another lane. She's not paying attention. She's texting, looking down like this, texting. Not in a Tesla, and it makes me mad. It's like, I want to tell her, just roll down the window and say, you're not in a damn Tesla. Watch the damn road. Yeah, a lot of cars have this lane assist, cruise control, but no, she wasn't staying in the lane. It was drifting out of the lane, coming up on that truck pretty fast. But she's just too busy looking down at her phone, and she's going to cause an accident. It looks like it needs, it's going to take this exit, and looks like it's going to have to do, looks like the Supercharger's on the other side. I've never been to this Supercharger. I think this is the first time for me, and it's funny. My girlfriend's Chinese, so she knows a little bit of English, not much. But whenever we get to a place like this, she'll always ask me before, and she just say that, and I know that means, have we been to this one before? Have I ever been to this one before? But yeah, it's always funny. We got a Bucky sign. I don't think, it's 11 miles. But they got the Bucky's billboard right there at this location's parking lot. That's kind of cute. Are all the chargers busy? Is this one busy? We have 50 miles of range, so if this one's busy, we might be able to go to another one, but it's the Abbott Travel, and there is two chargers. Okay. Let's see. I think this is coming into truck entrance or exit. It's not marked. But yeah, they got the Bucky sign right there. Coming into 2C. We have a Mustang there. The only problem about the other Mustangs and stuff like that is they take up 2 Supercharger spots. It probably could have used a different one. I don't know. But now remember, when you park next to somebody at a Supercharger, if it's a 150, you are splitting that. If it's a 250 or better, this is a 250, and it says 5-minute wait time, but hey, there's no wait time. I'm here. If it's a 250, you're not splitting it, so you get the full speed. And let me go ahead and plug in. I'll show you what I mean here. Since we are down to 50% or 50 miles of range, we're at what percentage? 17%. It should jump up pretty quickly. Okay, we popped in here and it's jumping up. 63 kilowatts, 101 kilowatts, 104, 103, 105. And it is cold outside, which might limit the Supercharger. That cable was pretty cold. It's not frozen though. and it's given me 7 minutes. My next pickup, or my pickup at 4 o'clock, is over here on State Road. And that's actually there in that shopping center where that 150 kilowatt supercharger is. So I'll be able to leave that parking lot as near as 100% as I can get. Yeah, we're not up to 200 kilowatts, and it could be because of the cold. But we're already over 20%. It'll be nice if it will do 250 up to 60%, but I have not seen that. You know, right now we're getting 461 miles an hour. If it was doing 200 kilowatts, that's over 800 miles per hour, and you got a 300 mile range. That's a half an hour. The Hitch app keeps bugging me, telling me there are rides available in San Antonio to take them, but I'm already on a ride. I can't take them, and I can't see them. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let this finish charging. I'm going to go in here and hit the bathroom. But yeah, it's kind of really funny that this truck center has a Buc-ee's billboard, basically telling you, hey, don't stop here, keep going. There's a Buc-ee's down the road. So yeah, I'm only 88 miles from the first pickup site. But anyway, a like and subscribe would be nice. I'm transferring pictures now and trying to work on videos. I'll probably try to see if I can crank something out while I'm waiting on the next supercharger and get these uploaded. Well, check out that video of the car dodging the coyote in the road. They're like 80 kilowatts there, charging up. So it's doing pretty good. I'm going to continue up here and get to the next supercharger here in about an hour and a half. And that's a 150 kilowatt supercharger. I'll be there 2 hours ahead of time. We're letting it work its way out of the parking lot. I'm not sure why his emergency blinker's on. Oh, he's waiting on a spot, that's why. Let's see if the car can find its way out. And that truck has gone awfully fast for towing a trailer in a parking lot. He's in a hurry somewhere. As you can see, I'm holding my phone. I'm not trying to hide it. I'm not trying to keep it out of the view of the camera. I'm holding it. The camera can see that I'm holding it. It's being a lot more relaxed, which is nice that it's finally gotten relaxed on that. Because we need to get that way for unsupervised full self-driving. The car does an incredible job even in adverse situations. I think the car is doing such a good job, especially when the weather's not bad and it's clear and it can see everything, it should not have to care. It should only give us a warning when it thinks it's being impaired or might not be able to handle something safely. It needs to start switching to I might need help here, instead of, hey, please pay attention to the road, because I'm not going to do anything wrong, but hey, you never know. And it's true, you never know. Now, I do want to say, before the 14 build, the 13 and the 12 build on both of my cars, the amount of driving I do every now and then, usually once every software, and I can put thousands and thousands of miles on it, but usually one time out of every software build. I think only one other software build would happen to be twice, but I would get the takeover unknown system error, and it's about 45-50 seconds while the FSD computer itself reboots, basically like Windows blue screen of death. That's always happened on every solitary software build except for 14. 14, they seem to be doing a very good job recovering. Occasionally I see something that makes me think that some parts of it are rebooting. So it's like it's running the FSD in a virtual machine mode and sort of, and just certain segments of it may reboot while others take over. Or it's running two versions parallel and one's rebooting. Or they're rebooting every now and then. Because on my, whenever I had it happen, it wasn't a tricky situation. It was just kind of weird, like getting ready to pull out of someone's parking lot and all of a sudden unknown system error. Nothing difficult there to, confuse the car or anything. And I think it's because the amount of times I hit superchargers so fast and so short and keep driving so much that it never had time for the computer to reboot and get rid of all the cache and whatever it does in its reboot process. And I think maybe now we're seeing that it is doing that and able to take care of it smoother, which is what is needed. It needs to handle unknown system errors smoothly without disenabling the full self-driving. And it feels like that's what it's doing. Make sure, I got it. Windshield's on auto. It's kind of funny. It's kind of hard to predict the windshield wipers. I would figure they've been on by now. Sometimes they just don't cut off, and now they're just not cutting on. But I'm sure they're going to kick in here eventually. But we're going to continue on, and I'll do my standard recording when I'm getting to this next supercharger, seeing if it gets into there just fine. And right now our route is still, it's planning the one charge there, and it's adding another charge on the way, but I don't want to set an arrival. I plan to charge up a lot more there. It's estimating, 15 minutes. But, like I say, I'm getting there at 2:12, and this ride starts, what time was it? This road just sounds kind of rough. We departed 4:05, so I'm there an hour and 50 minutes early, approximately, more than enough time to charge up to 100% at a 150 kilowatt supercharger. And hopefully it's not a very busy supercharger where you get congestion fees over 80%. The last charge cost me, $7.65. So $20, for the charge. I drove from Houston to Austin, spent that close to $13 there at the in Austin, and then another $7 to get up to Dallas. So yeah, that's actually pretty good. From Houston to Austin to Dallas for around $20. Now, I'm kind of wondering, but let's ask R if we can do some math here. Hey, R, can you help me out? I drove from Houston to Austin, and then I hit the supercharger. I paid about $13 for that, and now I'm heading up to Dallas, the northern part of Dallas there, and I hit another supercharger on the way up there, and I paid a total of $7.65. How many miles is that total? And what's that total amount that I spent on charging? And if a car was driving and paying $2.45 a gallon, what miles per gallon would he be getting at that rate?
Okay, let me break this down for you. You paid $13 for one supercharger stop and $7.65 for another. So total spent on charging is $20.65. Now, for miles driven, I don't have specific distance data from Houston to Austin to Dallas, but if you give me rough estimates, like, say, Houston to Austin is about 160 miles, Austin to Dallas is 200, your total would be around 360 miles charged. If your Tesla got, say, 3 miles per kilowatt hour, that'd mean you charged about 120 kilowatt hours total, costing roughly $0.17 per kilowatt hour across those stops. Now, if a gas car paid $2.45 per gallon for the same 360 miles, you'd want to know its miles per gallon to match your cost. At $20.65 for gas, it'd need about 85 miles per gallon to break even with your charging cost. Pretty efficient car. Anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you. So yeah, so if it was a gas car, they would need to get about 80 miles per gallon to be able to do it in that same price. That's pretty good efficiency. It really is. And it is cheaper to drive an electric vehicle. Tesla superchargers, 35 cents a kilowatt, around there. The other superchargers, the Go EV, what have you, I've seen them 50, 60 cents a kilowatt, 95 cents a kilowatt. Why are they charging so much more? Because they're trying to make a big profit. That's why. Do they need to? No. They could charge less. But they don't upkeep those either. I hear so many people complaining about those. But either way, very good efficiency compared to a gas vehicle. It's doing really a good job. I'm thinking, hopefully she got the mileage right on that. I didn't bother looking it up to let her know or let it know what the exact mileage is. But it's up there, and I can look up the links. I sign up to Testify, so every time I drive, it's always being logged on there. I can see the exact miles and everything. And yeah, I guess he's not paying attention to the road. So no reason for him to go off the road there. But anyway, now continue the drive. Like and subscribe. Be nice. Have a good day. Okay, this is where we would like to be able to get it to slow down a little more when the weather's really getting bad like this. I can barely see the white car in front of me myself. Camera is saying limited visibility. Clean the lenses soon. I'm sorry, it's getting washed pretty good. This here is the rear camera. The front camera is really hard to see. Oddly enough, the windshield wipers are not on high speed. We are doing 65. I dropped it down to sloth mode. Honestly, I would like to go a little bit slower, but we are maintaining a good distance. It does seem to, barely see that white car that's in the spray of the truck on the screen there. Previous versions, even 13, would usually make me take over by now. So far, since the 14's rolled out, even the 14.1, it's been doing an incredible job handling bad weather. And whenever it does tell me to take over, it usually will recover quickly itself. As I've seen in 14.1.1, weather was a lot worse than this. 3 times I've gotten that steering wheel, but none of those did it ever actually disengage. It still handled everything just fine. Just wanted to start a recording there for that. Maybe that was the last of the hard rain, but yeah. Like I say, just make it when we get down to sloth mode. If we hit that scroll button down more, then we want to decrease the speed more and let us have that fine-tuning control under that. The same for scrolling up. Once we get to Mad Max, let us set a new max speed. And I'm not saying tell the car to go that speed. Just tell the car that's the maximum speed I want to go, and if you don't feel it's safe, don't do it. I would still go as safely as you think you can go. But try to get to that speed. I think that would make everybody, happy. Now, I was talking about it before, the windshield wipers taking forever to come on. They eventually did, and now it's like, okay, we did have the heavy rain, but now it's just a very light mist. But the windshield wipers are still going. And we dropped down to 39 degrees. We have another hour to go, so I'll start recording again if we get more bad weather, but I can go over and look at the radar and see what we have. Yeah, it kind of looks like that little rain cell was just that area and nothing in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So I'm going to hit the windshield wiper and turn it off and go back to auto. And yeah, it's back up there. I want to put it on low. With the little mist that we're having, this is the setting it should be using. But with the, low cloud cover, and the grayness everywhere, it doesn't have any background to see clearly if it's raining hard or not. this to the other video and see how the rest of it goes. And here, as we're coming up to the Supercharger before this, might take an hour nap while it charges, I don't know. Let's see if it will get into this Supercharger with zero interventions. So far, I haven't had any issues with 14.2.1. It's been doing a great job of getting into Supercharger spots. 14.2.1. They need to put this on the Christmas build. They really need to do that. Or do a 14.3 and put it on the Christmas build so more people can get it. I've had this car 5.5 months and I already have 67,300 miles on it. And just to let you know, right now, as of right now, in the past 5.5 days now, I have driven 2,589.7 miles, and 2,582.4 of those is all on full self-driving. There are times I have to take over because just got to get into certain spaces. No easy way of doing that, unless, like I say, when we get to a location, show us on the screen where the car is thinking about parking. Give us an option to choose a different spot or different location, curbside, what have you. Then I would have a 100%. I would not have any times that I have to drive. If I can just select on the screen where to go. If it chooses to park in a different driveway or a different spot, it'll make life a little easier and get rid of any of those disengagements that I have. And also reiterate, add to the sloth mode that if we continue scrolling down, it will slow down more, let us decrease the max speed. And if we scroll up to Mad Max, let us increase the max speed. That would help in those areas where it doesn't see or it misses a speed limit sign for whatever reason. Okay, now can the car get all the way over in time? It's looking for an opening. It's going to try to merge over. It's merging over. Okay, very nicely. Not causing anybody to have to harshly brake or anything. The pickup truck behind me is actually following, so he's going the same place. That was pretty smoothly getting off of the interstate there. I've never been up to Dallas here. I should come up here and drive around for a while. A couple of statues of firefighters. We need to be honored and thankful of our first responders. People who put their lives on the lines for us. Many firefighters do that without pay. They volunteer. There are some paid fire stations, but a lot of them are volunteer. Now, this is a 150 kilowatt supercharger, so it is a slower supercharger, and that's okay. I have plenty of time. I'm down to 50 miles of range again, so I'm at the at 17% battery. So the car should be able to find the superchargers. As I say, Tesla should know where all their own superchargers are. It is now 38 degrees up here in Dallas. We got a delivery truck in the way here. The car's working around it. should have 5 stalls available. Okay, I see them way down there. Looks like we have one has a cable hanging down, so we might have one that's out of order. The icon is now showing as a wait time, but we'll see. That one looks like it might be out of order. It's going all the way down to 5B. But this is also a handicap one, so we really shouldn't use this one. So this is a situation I'm talking about. Show us where you're going to park. Let us choose a different one. Let us say, no, go over here, go over here, go over here, go over here. Why it's backing up and down like that, I don't know. Maybe it's because I am tapping. So I'm going to say, let's go to this Supercharger again. And I'm going to say, now, wait time 5 minutes. And I'm going to say start driving, and we're going to park charger. And will it let me choose a different one if I do that? We want to come over here, and we want to come down to 2B. Okay, so trying my best not to have to drive. Now, this is a 150 kilowatt supercharger, and they are sharing. There is nobody in the car next to me, so he might have been here for a while. So it theoretically should only go to about 75 kilowatts. Let's see. To back up at least 6 inches. Didn't go back far enough. Yeah. Okay, now we should be cooking with fire. Boom. Starting to charge. Should kick in any second here. There we go. And it's going to jump up. $71 kilowatts. 72. And I still have the windshield wipers on because I put it on because it's going kind of crazy with the windshield wipers. So yeah, it's going to hold at 73 kilowatts for a while. Charging rate limited by charging station. Charging at maximum rate available for the charging station. That's because I'm sharing with the other car here. We're at 25 minutes. But we're going to go to 100, so we're going to be here for a while, but we have the 50 cents per minute after 80%, so it might get a little pricey after that. So we will see. Anyway, a like and subscribe would be nice. Thank you very much.